Hi all, welcome back. Time for another Daytona office hours. Some of you may know we've been going through a launch week, the 7th iteration. So it's Wednesday today, so we've already launched 3 new features. So let's start with Mondays. So we launched the Sandbox Firewall. Essentially, security is one of our main selling points, and the firewall feature allows you to select which specific network lists you want to allow. So you can define up to 5 CIDR blocks, or you can just block all outgoing connections, which means that your sandbox is secure in the sense that it cannot access any services that you don't want it to. So essentially, there is less risk about your sandbox data, code, whatever, leaving the actual sandbox itself. So we have a couple examples here. Specifically, okay, a Python example. You can see the docs for more. So it's pretty simple. It's only a sandbox parameter, sandbox creation. So essentially, you can define these lists or just a Boolean per sandbox. So you can just make different settings for each sandbox depending on the use case which you have. This has been a quite highly requested feature, so we are happy that it's out. And on Tuesday, we also launched customer proxy or custom domains. So essentially, if you were to open up a terminal or any preview URL through Daytona, through the dashboard, you would see a Daytona proxy URL in the address bar. But right now, we added some tips and a guide on how to set up your own custom domain so that it can serve Daytona's whatever preview URL are currently up, and then you can build up your own brand instead of relying on Daytona's domains. It works with by setting a couple of HTTP headers. You can check them out here, and it's pretty simple. You just set it up. If you are using a non-public preview, you are going to need a sandbox token. Be careful with storing the token. You should always try to fetch the newest version, because on every sandbox restart, the token is refreshed for security. We have a TypeScript and a Golang. I'm not sure if these links work. TypeScript and a Golang repository link, so you can check them out. We have more info in the docs as well. And today we've launched Webhooks, so let's go through them as well. Essentially, this has been maybe the most requested feature of these 3. Essentially, it allows you to monitor real-time events of sandbox, let's say, lifecycle. So if a sandbox were to, I don't know, trigger an auto stop or auto archive interval, you would get notified through the webhook. So also, you can use it for auditing, for compliance, for monitoring, and a bunch of other stuff. Many people use webhooks in their own setups already, so this is just a natural expansion onto that. So if you're interested, you can just check out a bit of the details. You can subscribe to Sandbox, Snapshot, and Volume lifecycles, and find out about all the events and use them in your own monitoring, telemetry, or even doing actions based upon that. Outside of these features, which are pretty much all here, we also added a couple. Okay, so we added a preview warning page. Essentially, I think I have a screenshot here. Right, so up until now, if you were to open a preview for, let's say, a public port on a sandbox, it would immediately be served on the browser, but this was pretty much an open gate for a bunch of abuse attempts. So we have added, for some of our tiers, we have added a preview URL warning, which just lets you know that this current web page is being served from outside of Daytona. And you might be, so if it's a different domain name other than Daytona, you might be prompted to just click I understand, continue, or something of that sort. So this is just a security feature to prevent abuse attempts. We merged a couple of docs updates. So obviously docs regarding the launch week, as well as Docker and Docker doc. So this is pretty useful. Essentially, you can just check this out and figure out how you can run Docker inside of a sandbox in Daytona, which is useful for a couple of reasons, such as using a database and an application layer in the same context. So that is pretty nice. And also you can read more about webhooks here, but essentially, I think there's screenshots here, which is pretty nice. But you can read all of this in our new docs release. And since this is only Wednesday, we also have 2 more days of the launch week coming up. So I won't try to spoil too much. I'll only tell you that it probably has to deal with some of the PRs that are open right now, so you can take a look and figure it out yourself. And that's it. Thank you for following along in the launch week. It's been pretty exciting. Number 7 already, so we are looking for a lot more. And that's it. Thank you for watching. You can catch me on Slack, on the community channels. Let me know if you have any questions. And that would be it. See ya.